Well, hi there and welcome to this week's episode of Canadian Profits TV. Dave Dubeau here again. And for our business breakthrough, I'm going to be sharing with you a lesson I just got reminded about from Neil Godin, one of our very valued contributing writers, about false profits. For your real estate tip this week, I'm going to be talking about increasing your cash flow by charging for parking. And for the Mindset Minute, we're going to revisit a fantastic book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Stay tuned. All right, very good. So for our business breakthrough, Neil Godin recently reminded me about a very important concept, and that is the idea of false profits. Now, what does he mean by that? This is, for example, you've probably experienced this, like me, if you've got, for example, a cell phone plan. So in my case, got a cell phone plan. And you know how the cell phone companies are always putting on special offers to get new customers on board. Well, it's a little bit annoying when you find out that a new customer is getting a smoking deal, a way better bundle package offer, whatever, than you are. And you have to call up the phone company and you have to banter back and forth with them, fight with them for a bit in order to be able to get the same kind of deal. Now, that's what Neil's calling false profits, because what the company is, not just a phone company, but any company that does this kind of stuff, is counting on is complacency. And that's the fact that most of their current customers are complacent, unaware, lazy, what have you, and they aren't going to kick up that much of a stink about not getting that great a deal. They're kind of used to paying that, so they keep chugging along paying what they've always paid. So they count on that. And what Neil is saying is those are actually false profits. Why is that? Because it completely undermines the most important part of the customer company dynamic, and that is the relationship. So how much loyalty do I feel to my phone company if I know that Joe Schmo down the street is getting the same package I am or a better package and paying 30% less? And they're just keep charging me that. How do I feel about them? I have to call them up and bug them to get back down to that same kind of a deal. The minute I get a better offer from a different company, I'm going to jump ship and go over to somebody else. That's just the way it works. So you have to be very aware of this with your own business and your own promotions. You see this quite often, for new customers only, or this promotion for new customers only. Well, how does that make your existing customers feel? Not very good. So be very, very careful how you do that. Always try to offer your existing customers at least as good of a deal as the new ones, if not better. And one strategy for that is to actually create some sort of a referral program so your existing customers are bringing on new customers. The new customers get a smoking deal, and the existing customers get rewarded for bringing them on. That's a win-win-win for everybody. So that's your business breakthrough for this week. All right, for this week's real estate tip, I want to talk about increasing your cash flow by charging for things that you might not normally think to charge for. So the example we'll talk about this week is garage space. So my good friend and local real estate investor, Bruce Hinton, had a fantastic way to increase his cash flow on certain single-family properties that he had. And that was that he rented out the garage separately from the rest of the house. So it works better if you've got a detached garage, not one that's, drive into the house. So this is ideally for detached garages. So he would rent the house out, and anybody who rented there had parking space, but they didn't have access to the garage. Then he was able to rent out the garage for $200 a month. In this case, he rented out one of his garages to a car buff who put his collectible car in there and went and worked on it and tinkered on it in the evenings and on the weekends and just wanted a safe place to store it. Happy to pay $200 a month for that. And in another case, he used it as a garage as storage space, and again rented out for several $100s a month, I believe, to a non-profit organization who just stored a bunch of their stuff there. So that's a way to increase your cash flow significantly from a single-family home. So think about it. If you got a single-family home and you're just kind of making, like, let's say $50 to $75 a month net positive cash flow, and you have a detached garage and you rent that out separately for, let's say, $150, $200 a month, that just, almost quadrupled your net positive cash flow from the property from renting out something that you would have included normally on its own. So there's your real estate tip for this week. Take a look at it when you're dealing especially with single family properties. How can you maximize your revenues by renting out garage space? Okay, for our mindset tip this week, we're going to be talking about the book The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And just a reminder for all of our Creative Profits Club members, highly recommend this book. In fact, I like it so much, I've bought you a copy of it, and we're just waiting for them to get here from the publisher. Then we'll send them out directly to you. But in the meantime, if you're not a Creative Profits Club member, I highly recommend you get yourself a copy of this book. And this is a book about how to apply everything you've learned from other training courses. So we all know there's no lack of information out there. There's no lack of how to. What there is a challenge of actually doing what you've learned how to do. So that's what Jeff Olson is talking about here in his book. And he really boils it down to the essence. And what I've been reading about in the last couple of days is the fact that we really are made up of our habits. Our habits either move us ahead and give us a slight edge to achieve amazing results in the long term, or they move us away from that by working against us and doing the exact opposite in the long term. So if you want to be in the top 5%, if you want to have those phenomenal results that successful people have, it's not about having huge differences. It's about making little incremental changes and consistently doing things that most people don't do. So it's creating positive habits to replace your negative habits. Kind of hard to get into it all because he's got a whole book on this, but I highly recommend that book. Again, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. That's your Mindset Minute for this week. All right, to wrap up this episode of Canadian Profits TV, just want to remind you that our upcoming Rent-to-Own Profits Summit is in Kamloops, lovely Kamloops, BC, my hometown here, on July 26th, 27th, and 28th. And if you'd like to find out all about that, check out r2oprofitssummit.com. Also, there's an opportunity there for you to obtain my rent-to-own cash-on-demand system for Canadians, plus become a member of the Creative Profits Club. Very, very special offer there for you. And just a reminder that the bonus offer for the free VIP meal plan is going away this Friday. So if you'd like to take advantage of that, invest in the program, come out to the event, and get your meals on me, please make sure you do that before this Friday. What else is going on? Speaking of Creative Profits Club, our upcoming monthly training is this week. It's on Thursday, I believe. Yes, Thursday the 27th, exactly. And the topic for this month's training is all about creating your own deals quickly. So again, I see a lot of real estate investors making the mistake of overly relying on their real estate agents and the MLS for trying to find deals. Not the best place to look if you ask me. And I'm going to be training you on how to create your own deals fast. Have a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.